Welcome everyone to the F1 2025 Singapore Grand Prix reaction. Joined once again by Songan and AJX. Welcome everyone.
Hello, I'm
We're
back.
together.
Oh my god, it's
Yes,
been it was Spa surely the last time we were together.
it was a long time ago. Finally, we're back together doing what we love and what we really enjoy. That's talking about Formula One to a grand total of a few viewers, but it's
It
all the
doesn't
fun
matter.
anyway.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. I enjoy doing it anyway.
okay, generally, I would say a fairly average Grand Prix, or I should say a weekend compared to the rest of the calendar so far. But we have some interesting topics, interesting talking points, and we'll cover them all in this video. Um, because we shall move over to the predictions and talk about the stuff as we go on. Um, yeah, biggest surprise. You gave me your predictions last time out. You gave me Hamilton top three. I don't know if it counts for practice. uh,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
it was in the race, I should say. You are so lucky because I almost went Russell Pole for this instead. I had two options, and I went for Hamilton to get thing. But yeah, I'm fuming because evidently I should have gone the other way.
Yep. Ended up not being the greatest weekend overall for Ferrari. Hamilton unfortunately didn't end up in the top three. Uh, well, fortunately for me, I guess. uh, yeah. No points there. Yuki keeps the good form. Unfortunately, didn't quite happen. He was knocked out in Q2, even though he looked okay-ish throughout the practices. I mean, he was like half a second off on most laps behind Max, which should be fine as long as you get into the Q3. You're still like half a second behind Max, who's qualifying well the top row mostly right now.
Yeah.
Should be like DA7, right? He should have been around the Ferraris. I feel like if this would count, but he was not running Q2, and yeah, it wasn't great. He didn't even get to the point, so. No points there, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree, I agree. It was, yeah, bit disappointing, but I really went in all in on one thing this weekend. I can't lie, so it's not looking good for me in terms of gaining points back here. I really can't lie there. It's looking like a bad weekend for predictions of me.
Yeah, I don't see many points there. Uh, not many points on my side either.
That's true.
Maybe I'll try to argue for some. It works out. We'll see. Well, next step, just the first argument. Hamilton obviously is out of the question. I mean, yeah, he had a problem at the end of the race with the brakes. The Ferrari is really uh, the drivers are trying their best to not break the car every single turn, every single lap. Uh, so yeah, very unfortunate. He should have been like what P5, right?
Yeah,
Should have been ahead of Leclerc and obviously ahead of Alonso, but the brake issues were unfortunate. He ended up also getting a penalty after the race because he was just he couldn't brake, so he just took the corners like he was pretty much getting all the cutting corner penalties from any F1 games. Like when you just don't care anymore. Uh, yeah, he was losing a lot of time. I was like thinking, yeah, is going to get displaced, but he ended up not overtaking Hamilton, which was like weird because we couldn't see it in the like during the race because the race director was busy showing girlfriends and so on. Uh, I'm sure that, I'm sure that problem was well known among the F1 community. Uh, we're not getting much on track action when we should, and we were not shown any of the overtakes at the last parts of the race. I mean, Singapore, it's not a place where we get many overtakes, and Carlos Sainz done like five overtakes to get to the points, and we haven't seen a single one. That's very annoying, I would say.
yeah, yeah.
But,
It was a
yeah,
weird weekend in terms of that, wasn't it? There's just
yeah,
a lot of things not actually shown, um, which you know, as F1 fans, we actually want to see the action and so on, and the fact we couldn't was disappointing. But oh well, is I guess what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Oh well, indeed. It's as much as we can do at this point. It's all outside of our hands and outside of fans' hands. Also, like the drivers spoke on on the issue as well. Like I'm sure Carlos had some words on it, literally called out the direction that I haven't showed
Yeah,
any of his overtakes,
it's
and
been
it
weird
showed.
for a couple weeks now, right? I feel like it's
Yeah, like
just all focused on off track stuff.
I don't mind seeing a family member once in a while in the broadcast, but no, when there's actual racing on track and you're showing some random family member or girlfriend
Yeah. Also,
reacting
it's
to
just so
whatever.
like it's like 5 times per race they're showing the girlfriends.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's a bit creepy. It's a bit creepy. Maybe stop doing that, F1.
Yeah, indeed. Like if I would have been, well, I'm not saying I would have wanted to be a girlfriend or any drivers, but hypothetically speaking,
Yeah.
if I was a partner of a not specified F1 driver, I would not like to be shown on TV like 5 times per weekend.
No,
That's
exactly.
all I'm gonna say. So, yeah. Uh, but I mentioned, speaking of Hamilton, I mentioned Alonso. I wanted to say, feel like you may argue against this, but I'm well sure I should get the point for this one.
You're
And
sure? If you're sure, look. If you're sure, I'm not going to argue against it because look, I would probably I'd give it Russell, but I think Alonso and did Alonso really do anything? He's sort of lucked into the place he got because of Hamilton's brake
hear me out.
issues.
Hear me out. The car was well, it was okay. It was a midfield car. He got into Q3. Good. Like that's a good starting point. In the race, I'm not sure you remember the pit stop, but it actually essentially cost him like 5 places. He made all those places up, finished top of the midfield, and was able to, well, with luck, obviously, but still was able to get a P7 from Hamilton in the end.
Well, what I was going to say is I do think a lot of his
Uh,
driving was pretty brilliant on the in the middle of the race. He had a bad pit stop and somehow managed to still perform very well. So I'm willing to give it you. He had to overtake some people.
and,
I don't think
uh,
this is probably our worst overperformer though, but I am still willing to give it.
Dude, I have one backup argument. He should have been like the driver of the weekend alone based on the radios. Like those were absolutely hilarious. Like those moments during the race actually kept me like awake because it was really boring at times. And
Yes.
yeah, I really liked his overtakes on that banner during the race. It was really fun, and I'm very happy with Alonso weekend after a long time. I feel like since maybe Canada, this is the first time I'm really like saying Alonso maximized his weekend. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we haven't seen like perfect Alonso weekend in a while. Like always something happens to him, and even here, he had a bad pit stop that was out of his control, and whatever
Yeah.
happened to his car during the race, but he still managed to overcome all those problems. And you still gotta admit, like even it's Alonso, one of the greatest talents of F1 history. Uh, but still, like, he's like 44 right now. He's basically in his early 40s and still driving at this level. It's remarkable,
Yeah.
I would say.
That's true. That's true. And
It's
yeah, I think he had an impressive weekend. Um,
and like P1 in practice, well, it has to have some value, right?
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay.
I am willing to give it you. I'm 100% willing.
Okay, happy with that. As you mentioned, Russell for overperformer is also a great shout. Like just like
100%.
Canada, he had the car, he maximized his weekend. He was given the opportunity and he used it. Just like in Canada, like the second time this year that his car was able to give him a win, and he took it. He never
Yeah.
looked back. Two amazing pole laps. Uh, we never know what would happen if Max had didn't have Norris in there, but it's also something I want to talk about later on. Uh, I would say, yeah, perfect weekend from Russell, really showing great consistency and one of my top two drivers of this season ever since the first race, pretty much. So just keeps it going.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I think it was a really good weekend from him, and yeah, I think he's proved that this season he is very high value for money, and Mercedes have really screwed up by allowing him to have his own contract basically now. They basically handed him all the power. Um,
Yeah.
I'm shocked he hasn't been able to use it yet.
Yeah, he has a lot of market value at the moment. And like the only thing that was keeping him from a seat or extension was Max being in the wins. But now that the Red Bull actually picked up the pace, and you never know what's going to happen next year. Max is staying there for next year, 100%. 2027, we'll see. But the thing is, George is turning at such a phenomenal level right now that like I explained, like during the first third of the season, where when we were getting the speculations that Russell is as good as you can get to Max without getting Max right now.
Yeah,
Maybe Charles is arguably on his level as well, but I would say like combination of elite qualifying speed, racecraft, race management. Now also youth, like he's still very young, considering drivers like Hamilton and Alonso. Like obviously those are all time greats, but you're getting a driver that's in his prime, just like Max. Like you're getting a lot of him, and it's insane market value. If he signs anywhere else, it's going to be for a lot of money. I feel like, uh, yeah. Uh, okay. Do you have any good shouts for a performer? Like apart from those two, like, I could mention
no, not
Bergman
really.
or Max, but yeah.
I think Max performed well, but he's performed like way better recently. So, and also like any other a track in Europe and he's getting overtaken, right? By Lando. Um, so it's one of those. But like I don't think anyone else performed over 11. I guess Antonelli did
Ollie,
well, but that's only because I'm used to him doing badly.
Ollie Behrman. I mean, P9 in a Haas. His teammate was nowhere. That's also a shout, I would say. I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah, no,
kept track of the midfield in this race because I honestly didn't much. I have no idea where drivers like Albon or Lawson finished, but I tried to keep track a little bit.
I think that's a decent enough shout. I'll give it you.
Okay. Guess we can move over to the underperformer. And I don't think Max or Antonelli qualify for this. Like they had decent weekends, both of them. Maybe not like 10 out of 10, but very good, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think. I don't. Yeah, I agree.
Who would you give this to?
Underperform. I know we did Piastri. I know Piastri obviously deserves it last week. By the way, I wasn't here for Baku, so I just want to say the fact that within a minute of being on track, he crashes in qualifying, doesn't start the race at all, and then crashes in the race was incredibly amazing. But here I think it's a shout, and I can't really think of anyone else. I think the midfield was a bit all over the place, but I don't think anyone like underperformed. It's just one of those tracks where this stuff can happen.
Like you could make arguments for like Ocon or maybe even Gasly, or but he had issues in qualifying. So uh, Alex, I mean he actually had qualified Carlos, even though they both got disqualified. Yeah, there's I guess
Yeah,
no real shouts. I mean
but
Hulkenberg,
then
yeah, he spouted the race, but he outqualified Bortoleto.
I think Carlos I think Carlos is getting used to the car, right? So I'm not going to penalise Alex for being out qualified by him. Um,
actually wasn't. He actually qualified ahead of him, but both of these qualified.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, just one started the race and one started the race in the pit and one didn't. Um, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Um,
Stroll. I mean, we're not used to him being anywhere near the top 15, so I don't know.
yeah, exactly. It's difficult, isn't it? With like drivers, certain drivers, it's like, oh, you're just not, you know.
Maybe Lawson, like he crashed a couple of times and he got out qualified and beaten by HR in the qualifying of the race. Maybe he didn't have a good weekend. That's for sure. Well, maybe you could even argue for Tsunoda, but we're not used to see Tsunoda in the points. It was a little fluke, I would say, in Baku. Yeah, I guess there's no like clear pick. There's many shouts, okay shouts, but not a clear one. I guess we can agree on that.
Yeah, there's a few people that I'm like, but no, like, absolute, like, yeah, you stunk up the joint this weekend. What were you doing?
Yeah. Okay. No points there. Perfect team. Uh,
Perfect
I,
team. Oh, I think
not
it's
Ferrari.
not Ferrari. No, I think
Not the
it.
Racing Bulls.
No. I think it is a Mercedes one, right? Because
Yeah.
Antonelli, as much as he did okay in the Fin Grand Prix, he did, and you know he didn't do much here. He still got a good position, and then
There's no other team that owns
yeah,
that
there's
could think
just no,
of.
there's no other, is there?
Yeah, ever team had only one driver perform to an extent, and obviously there are teams who didn't have any driver perform at where they should have been. Like you could argue for McLaren's that they should have been on the podium, both of them, and that they ended up P3 and P4. Yeah, it was difficult to overtake, but there's some argument for them that they should have finished on the podium at least with the fastest car in race pace, and Ferraris obviously not much they could have done there, and the team didn't give them a good car. So yeah, Mercedes takes it for the perfect team.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. I think they. I mean, just George's first stint was incredible, right? And I think that's
Yeah,
enough.
with a
So yeah,
huge gap. Obviously, Max undercut him, but he like ever since he came out of the pits, like it wasn't like
yeah,
near.
it was a lot closer.
Like Max wasn't attacking George. Yeah, they kept like they didn't increase the gap to like a 15-second gap like he had before the pit stop, but still like George wasn't attacked at any
No,
point.
no, no, and honestly, he probably would have got further away if there wasn't so much traffic. So it's one of those.
Yeah, yeah, that's also true. Yeah. Okay, tragic team on the other hand, not a clear pick again. Yeah, solid shouts, but no clear pick. Do you
Yeah,
want to
I
like
don't know.
your
I don't think I don't think McLaren deserve it for a 1-2, right? Um, sorry, not 1-2. For I know obviously they are meant to be the fastest car. I don't think they were that quick this weekend. I think in the race they were a lot quicker. Um, that benefited them, but even then, like Piastri was miles behind for a lot of the race. Um,
he
so
finished like two
it,
seconds behind already.
yeah, he did. No, I know he finished 2 seconds behind, but that again was a lot of traffic reasons,
He also
maybe,
had the pit stop.
and then Verstappen just sitting ahead of him. Yeah, I agree. I agree, but you know, Norris had a front wing damage. Um, sorry,
Didn't
this
see
isn't
too
meant to
much.
like this isn't meant to like dunk on Piastri or anything. I just
I
and
agree.
um, I mean, Williams ended up getting a point, and they managed Science really well in the race. I guess Sauber probably. you know,
Uh,
I know it's been a while, but they were one at one point, you know, the fifth best team. So the fact that they're now finishing, you know, dead last and 17th
mm,
is, you know, a bit of a shock, I would say. But this is me pulling at straws, right? I just don't
yeah.
think there's any other team you can really mention.
Like, if we go team by team, like okay, let's say Mercedes definitely not, Red Bull no, McLaren no, Ferrari.
Maybe,
I would
but
say
they
no.
just seem to end up like this is their
Uh,
position, right?
yeah,
Sixth and
exactly. They're the
seventh
fourth
is their
biggest team.
position now. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Aston no, they got the
they got
P7, the Haas P9. We have Racing Bulls. I mean, they could have scored points probably, but they didn't. With HR obviously getting overtaken by Science. They were close to points though, and they got the Q3 with HR, so got
hmm.
quiet. Williams obviously double disqualification in qualifying, but they scored a point. Haas P9 with Behrman no. Then Alpine. I guess you could argue for
But
that,
you
but
expect this,
they're
right?
P10 in the constructors,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we end up with Sauber, who like Hulkenberg almost going to Q3, but also like during the race, the race wasn't managed well. Then he spun, and by the way, this spin was like it was nothing happening for so long, and it's just random like footage of Hulkenberg sliding over the circuit. He actually ended up not hitting any walls or anything. It's just like we were so I was so desperate for anything to happen. I just saw us random Sauber. Obviously I didn't want anything to happen to Hulkenberg because he was fighting for points at that point. But yeah, like okay, back to the point. Sauber as a team, I don't have much arguments. Like they could have scored points on pace if they managed would have managed to race better, but you could argue that for more teams. It's yeah, I don't think there's a pick on this weekend.
No,
If I would have to choose a team, probably would be Sauber, but I don't know, honestly. Like,
I think it is Sauber. So I'm more willing to give you the point here. I think like
oh yeah, I actually picked Sauber. I
yeah,
didn't
you've
realize.
been arguing against yourself the entire time. I've been like, what? After you argued for Alonso, I was like, this is the clearest one.
I was like looking over the constructor standings like on my phone, and I didn't realize I picked Cyber Tragic Team. Okay, I'll humbly take the point this time around.
Okay.
Okay, qualifying predictions. Okay, let me remember. We had George Russell pole position, Max P2 point is looking great because I see another point for Piastri P3. That's uh that's 4 points. Wow. Okay. P4 was Antonelli and P5 were Russell, so no points there for either of us. Actually, really like we were alternating in our predictions. Like I specifically tried to replicate our predictions, but I changed them. Like you can see the pattern, right?
Now, I'd like to point
But I
out
have to
if you
predict.
look at my predictions, they're just the world championship for the race. I'm pretty sure.
Wait, Piastri, Norris. Yeah, for step for the rest of the clinic. Yeah, I see it. Crazy that you did get a single point, right? By the way,
I was going for something.
because yeah,
I was cooking.
yeah, race Russell, Max, Norris, Piastri, and Antonelli. So yeah,
Did
no
any of us?
points
Yeah,
for
fair enough. Fair enough. Well
Mercedes.
done.
And actual prediction, maybe I've missed it, but I don't remember Hamilton winning. Maybe you do.
I'll be honest. I was like, and I do think he had this right. I think in the first and this has been the case for Hamilton for a bit as well. I was going like, it's words. I was going, you know, obviously he tragically lost Roscoe last week. I was like, I think he's going to bring a lot of that energy into this weekend. You know, a lot of he'll want to do his best. and those first like few sessions he was incredible at. But yeah, I think after that it went a little bit, but yeah, I think. Well, I think he had like bad ties for qualifying, didn't he? He for the for Q3 he had like he had on his God, I'm bad at words today. He had an old on his old set for his final run. So yeah, I just think lost it in the end, and then he was really racing on those softs until his brakes decided they weren't going to work anymore. So could have been an exciting ending where he got top five, but yeah, never looking like the win. I
Yeah,
was a bit off on that one.
I was looking for another point for P5. Things happen. Unfortunately, thing that you pointed out, like it's driving a Ferrari after all. Not much you could have done, right? uh, it pains me to say, as a partially a Ferrari fan, I was really high on them going to the season, but then I remember this Ferrari that they go somehow screw it up. I did exactly what they did. Uh, like my predictions, like my standings predictions are really working right now, but it's not like I really wanted them to work. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, yeah, Ferrari just really disappointing every single weekend now. Like even with they had the pace to win in Hungary, they still managed to not have the car breakdown. It's very unfortunate for every single Ferrari fan out there. Yeah, next year is not our year, as I will. Yeah. Okay. Back to the point. No points for P5. The race we get gets points there, and for actual prediction you get a point. Don't get points there. Alonso podium didn't happen. It's for like I don't think we can get for disqualification at this point. It's too far from the race, but yeah. P7 for Alonso. He was looking very good in practices. He got the overperformer point, but not quite a podium.
no,
Yeah.
no, he was a bit off that.
It's crazy. Like those two are our predictions. Like Hamilton and Alonso, both of them with zero podiums this year. While we had HR, Sainz, Hulkenberg, and someone else podium. I forgot. HR, Hulkenberg, Sainz. Who's the? I'm pretty sure there were like four drivers from the midfield, right? I remember. Am I not
I
remembering
don't know.
well?
I can't remember.
Okay, give me a second. I'll check it. Uh, where's the podiums? No, it's not. Okay. Uh, yeah, Antonelli got a podium, but it's kind of expected.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's no one else. Yeah, just those three. Yeah, basically what I was saying. It's crazy that we have HR, Sainz, and a whole correct podium before a first podium as Ferrari. Hamilton.
I know.
Uh,
It's mental, isn't it?
yeah.
But I'm sure he'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back at some point.
Like considering that car this year, like that. How has Charles managed to get five podiums with that asset fleet code for 75, whatever it is right now, like nicknamed by the Ferrari fans? Yeah, it's painful times, but never know what happens next year. Probably gonna be the second quickest car and then lose to like Mercedes or whatever.
Yep. You never know. You never know.
Okay. Since we've went through the predictions, I guess we can get to the talking points we haven't mentioned. I would start with qualifying, mainly with the entire Max Lando thing. I would like to hear thoughts first before sure Mark.
Okay, my point, my perspective is that Lando was really far ahead, and Max was doing a not a well, he was doing a pretty decent lap. I just think he was so far ahead. How can you complain about that, right? Of all things, um, I'm shocked that that was a that was such a talking point, to be honest, because yeah, as I said, he was miles ahead. He was miles ahead. I don't think
Okay.
like he was going out and going, yeah, this is going to ruin Max. He was literally just heading to the pits. I don't think that he's like. No, there's a reason he didn't get a penalty for it, right? There's quite
Yep.
clearly a reason he hasn't got a penalty for that because no one's gonna give a penalty for that. It was pretty ludicrous in the first place.
Yep. Okay. One. What's that one? My thoughts on this one. I'm really happy that you are this. Well, you shared pretty much the same thoughts.
Okay, thank
Like
God.
when I saw it live. When I saw it live, I was like, how has this affected Max? Like I didn't even see Lando in front of him. It looked like a simple lockup. I guess dirty air it lasts for a couple of seconds after the car passes, but that's the thing for every single driver. On in qualifying, these things happen. It's not like Lando did it on purpose. Like he didn't even know what happened.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it was so silly, and the entire reaction of Max, like he remembered that, and who was it? It was not Oscar. I got all this. It all seems so far fetched for me. Like I didn't think it should have mattered that much to Max. Like he, maybe he felt he got robbed of a pole position, but I would say like that's 99% on his lookup, and then it's on him not
Yeah,
putting his
exactly.
life together. I don't think you can blame Lando there that much. Like he definitely did that on purpose and all that. Like yeah. On the other hand, I'm not. I've been very critical of Lando this season, and obviously as a Street fan, I'm a little bit biased, but I don't think this was Lando's fault. I don't think he should have been a penalty like some people claim. Like it was ridiculous. The entire situation should have been even discussed, and it should have been more like praise for George, who put
Yeah,
in two great
exactly. I
laps.
can't believe like Max is just it's just a very furious Max moment, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe Max has got more trouble for it. To be honest, everyone sort of just went past it. Um, so
Also,
yeah,
one thing in qualifying that mention quickly. I'm pretty sure remember if you watch qualifying, Pierre Gasly breaking down, right?
yes,
The yellow flag thing. Like five drivers passed. You're
yeah,
not supposed to
that was
improve during a
insane
yellow
as
flag.
well.
I was like thinking, is this going to be a red flag or whatever VSC? But nothing was happening, and then drivers were improving, knocking down other drivers. Like it was, I didn't know what was happening, and then just they randomly like postponed Q2. They were like investigating all of this. Why? Why did it? Why does it even happen in the first place? I'm pretty sure we have the rules for a car stopped on track. It's not that other drivers are not going to improve. Like this was such a weird situation, and they ended up giving no drivers a penalty or a lap time deletion or whatever. Like it was just
The only
waste of time, essentially.
when it happened, the only one I was like, oh, okay, this might be, them screwed was well, not even screwed. I was like, okay, Sonoda might have just got out of yellow flags because it was in
Yeah.
sector one. He might have been fine, but the rest of them were firmly in sector one. And I know Gasly got his car out the wall and this, that, and the other, but like it was still in sector. It was a pretty mental thing that happened. So yeah, I was a bit shocked by that.
Yeah, it was
And that not really. I don't think anyone got anything, did they?
no action as
Yeah.
far as I'm aware. So all of it for absolutely nothing. We just got a postponed Q2 for no reason, and yeah, a waste of time. Like I said, like nothing happened from it. It was nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we can move over to the race and okay, the start. Normally, when it comes to Lando doing things, I'll let you talk first, but here I
No,
would like to
it's
talk
okay.
first.
Yeah, yeah, go for it. I do have. I think we probably share the same opinion here, actually.
Like I said, during the season, I have been very critical of Lando. Here, I feel like Lando did what he was supposed to do.
Oh,
For
okay.
me, for me, he's fighting for a title. There was a gap. Obviously, he shouldn't have essentially crashed into his teammate. It wasn't a crash. It was like a contact. Those things happen. I feel like this should be the norm. Like these drivers should fight for the title, not all the papaya rules nonsense that I'm really angry about through the entire season. Pretty much basically ever since last year, ever since they've created it. I've had it so since like this wasn't Formula One for me, and obviously you defended their rules that they both agreed to them, but then when the drivers don't agree to their rules, like yeah, Piastri. I get why Piastri was so angry because he always like acknowledged the rules and actually acted what the team wanted for him. And when it was like very close with Lando, he was told to like not overly race with him and so on. And now like Lando essentially almost puts him in a wall. Like it wasn't. It was pretty close, like from the outside point of view. He was he had the right to be angry, but also I'm on Lando's side here that yeah, I feel like this should be the racing, all right. Not that they should try to like bump each other off the track or whatever, but they should try to fight each other on track. That's what I'm really asking for. Like, I want a title fight with actual battles on track, not papaya rules, race fixing or whatever. This was what I needed from Lando. This like him actually not like responding to any criticism there was actually something that actually he grew in my eyes. I feel like he should have defended that because that's for me that's Formula One. He's fighting for a title. He shouldn't be apologizing for trying to overtake his teammate on lap one where the cars are very close to each other. Yeah, contact happens sometimes. They have those rules. He can discuss that with his team, what he did, and Piastri has full rights to next time do whatever he wants on track and refuse the team orders if there are some. So yeah, overall from this incident, I feel like yeah, no action necessary. Obviously, there was no penalty.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It
not,
was
that, not, not
barely
like
even
they're
a racing
investigating
incident,
teammates
to be
anyway.
honest. But
And yeah, okay, now I'm gonna let you
it
talk.
it was barely even. I thought we were going to agree on this, so I can't lie. It was barely even a racing incident. Like I agree with that, right? I think that's quite clear. Um, However, and like I don't blame Lando for this so much. However, for in my opinion, for our dear friends at McLaren, like you've set up your rules, right? You have papaya rules. You use them already. You've used them this season to benefit Lando in terms of he was allowed to overtake in Italy. That
Yeah.
I don't understand why suddenly that's changed again, right? I don't understand why now that is Lando that's at fault. Like you have clear rules about them touching, and I know it wasn't really Lando's fault. There was stuff to do with Max overtaking, and this that and the other. But I just don't think that you should be allowed to overtake like that if that's the rule set you've brought to the table for your team. And if you've said to both drivers you cannot touch. If you touch, then let each other through. Then that should be the rules that you stick to. It shouldn't just suddenly change because you've decided that it wasn't enough or whatever. I guess that perhaps they thought Lando would be slower because he's got that damage, and that Piastri didn't seem to get anything. And look, I think Piastri was quite obviously heated in the car, but I think he was quite amicable afterwards. He said, I need to go and watch it back and see. And I think you probably will watch it back and see that there wasn't really anything in it. Um, but yeah, I sort of I am on the fence of like, you know, come on, McLaren, you've gave yourself these rules. How come you're not using them?
I'm really happy you're seeing the bad side of this entire
No,
papaya thing,
like
bro.
I
Like it's not all flowers, right?
I think the rules are set right. I think it's fine to have rules
But
as a team. It's just the fact that they now have changed the rules depending on the situation. Like just
yeah,
for Lando, right? He was obviously quicker than I would say he's quicker than Piastri this weekend, right? Not in qualifying,
quicker than Piastri. Like
but in the race he would. I
race
think he was.
race pace, he was stuck behind Max, so we cannot really judge. Like based
But
on
his
data in clean air, they were comparable.
the
Like
way he
Piastri was
caught
actually
up,
like a little bit quicker.
I don't think so.
But
I think the way that he caught up Max was so much more impressive than how Piastri caught up him. And I
I
know
mean, yeah,
Piastri has
that's
the
the
bad
eye
pit
test.
stop.
I'm not arguing against your logic, but we don't have anything to prove it, honestly,
Maybe,
because
maybe,
he was
maybe.
stuck behind Max and Piastri. He had like he wasn't going to overtake Lando track,
Okay,
let
let
alone
me
like
say, I personally believe he was quicker this weekend. Um, that's the other
you're
thing,
free to
right?
think that.
Uh, I like them both. I'm just putting out. I like them both. I don't have like this entire huge bias. Um, I think Piastri's a mega driver. Um, I just think that yeah, Lando was quick in the race. I think that
It was
uh,
it was quick,
Norris's
quicker.
one lap Norris's one lap in qualifying is going to be his downfall, right? And I do actually think Piastri's going to win the title. At this point, I know that took a while for me to say, but I just don't understand how. Also, I don't understand how this has been how many weekends in a row now that McLaren have messed up a pit stop 3 weekends in a row.
Yeah, when you
That's
look at actually like
mental.
data for pit stops across the entire season, like both drivers are averaging 3 seconds, and that's for a team that has the record for the fastest pit stop.
Exactly.
Like,
It's
how are they
mental that
doing
they're
this?
messing up these pit stops so much, and that obviously screwed Piastri in this race as well. Like he would have
Yeah,
been
like,
right on the backside of Norris and Verstappen. Evidently, no one could overtake in this race. Okay, so I don't think anything would change.
yeah,
Um,
except Science, who he didn't see those overtakes.
no,
Yeah,
no, true,
uh,
true. But
yeah, I'm still salty.
yeah,
Okay, go on.
I think they have a set. If you have set rules, then follow them. Right. I'm very it's there's a thing in D. I'm bringing in D&D here. There's a thing in D&D where your character can be lawful, but it's lawful to their own rules, right? But they always follow their own set of rules. It doesn't have to be lawful to like the law, right? But they're always lawful to their set of rules. Papaya, why are you not being lawful to your own set of rules? Like, just keep you know do what you say you're going to do. If there's a rule where you can't touch your teammate, then let the other teammate back through. Let's be honest, Piastri's almost breaking that a few times this season, so it would have been interesting to see what would have happened then. But yeah, otherwise, you just got to abolish them. Either keep to your rules, or you can. You've won the title now. You've won your world championship. You've got to go to them, right? You've got to go to them both. Verstappen isn't that far behind, so watch out. But it is up to you now, and up to your two sides of the garage. We're not gonna. The rules are out the window.
So, isn't it funny that 15 minutes in, we just now mentioned McLaren winning the constructors?
Yeah. It was. It was. I mean, we knew it was gonna happen. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
took too long to
It
win
was,
it. To be honest, they should have won it weeks ago.
yeah, exactly. They should have won it like in Baku, but they ended up having their worst weekend so far. So yeah, like congrats to McLaren, but that team has lost all respect that it had. Like
Ooh,
from me,
ooh,
like
damn.
yeah. Look, I've never been really a fan of teams. Like I always like the team vibe and so on. Like I really like McLaren in the early days, like when it was Lando and Carlos, and obviously
Daniel.
Daniel joined. But then like the team, like when it got success, it they really just tried too much to complicate things. Like yeah, obviously you were defending the rules that they set for themselves, and they have agreed to oblige, but now they not really doing it. Like, what's the point of the
Yeah,
rules?
exactly. What is the point of the rules? What's the point? You set up rules for yourself. Follow. I by the way, I am a McLaren fan. I'd just like to say that is the team that I support. Not the really that I support a team. I mainly support my own countrymen. So, but yeah, so it was a great race for me. At one point, it looked like there was going to be three British drivers in the top five and four in the top 10. It was going to be a great weekend for me, but unfortunately, it didn't end up happening. Um, one
Yeah,
day, I swear, I need the all British podium. That's all I need in life.
ideally on the British Grand Prix, right?
Oh, and if I was there as well, oh, it would be a dream.
Yeah. Imagine next season, Lewis wins in a Ferrari, his first win in a Ferrari in Silverstone, P2 George, P3 Lando. That'd be great.
Honestly, it wouldn't matter the order to me. I love them all. So obviously, I've got a little bit of a bias towards Hamilton just because he's won seven championships. But it could even be Behrman, by the way, in the top three, and I'd still be as happy. Just British.
Yeah, at this point, any Brit will do.
Any Brit will do. Button comes back, gets actually not for the British Grand Prix. Let's be
Imagine.
honest.
I believe Baton has a penalty, right? If he would have like come back to Formula One, he would have to like serve a grid penalty or something, right? Like, maybe I'm wrong.
No,
I'm
no,
pretty
I think
sure
you're
like
right. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
that'll be funny. Anyways,
He's also
yeah,
terrible at the British Grand Prix, so
yeah, true. That like not every Brit excels at the British Grand Prix. Some do, some
I don't
don't,
think he
and
did. He ever get a podium even there? He might have, but he definitely
he
didn't
made
win.
it one,
No, he didn't. He
but
did.
yeah,
He never won.
never won. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, we've actually went through the entire
I'd
papaya
like to point
thing.
out. I guess we do agree on it, right? Because you said Lando shouldn't give back the place. I think on Lando's head, yeah, he
Yeah,
should
of
give back
course
the
he
place.
shouldn't get it back to place, and Oscar
And
shouldn't have get it
no
back
one
to place in
demanded him
Monza,
to ever. Yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah,
Piastri shouldn't
so
give
on.
it
Like
the place in Monza.
and Hungary last year, they shouldn't have done anything, and yeah, it's all like I've been
I
talking
see.
about this so much.
This is the
Uh,
difference. This is the difference, though, in terms of for both Monza and Hungary last year. It was the team messing up a pit stop, whereas this it was pure racing. So that's the only difference. But I still, if you've got a set rule in place, then follow it, right?
yeah,
You,
I mean
you know,
we
I
saw
don't
we
go into
saw
when I had a job, small violin for me. I didn't go into the office and one day, I was doing my job and following all the rules, and then the next I'm like, no, I don't want to do this, so I'm gonna do something else. That's the
yeah.
same thing, right? The management company didn't suddenly go, yeah, you need to do this differently.
Yeah, no, some of the mentioned Canada this year, the biggest like racing moment between the two. Lando overstepped it. Very lucky to not have both cars DNF there. Obviously, Lando paid for his own mistake, but it was very dangerous, and he didn't get like any reprimands for the team, as far as I'm aware. Like after that, uh,
No, but I like
they should have set up like some kind of precedents that they
I
should have followed,
I think
and they really didn't.
yeah, maybe
Uh,
maybe so, but maybe the reprimand was the fact that he didn't finish the race.
yeah, I mean, that's the only
I'm
punishment.
sure he got a slap on the wrist, right? Surely he's got told off for that.
I mean,
But even then, it's
like this is where I cut the
the
line for
F1
myself. Like
did F.
you should not crash with your teammate. Like crash as in a crash, not this small contact.
I think you're going to
But
be
that's
hard
that's
plus to find a driver that hasn't crashed into his teammate though.
yeah. I mean, obviously these things happen, but I feel like the fire rules when they were first mentioned, I feel like they should have been just do not cause a crash with your teammate, and that's it. You can clean race, race clean, race hard.
By the way,
That's it.
what happened? I want to see what happens right with these papaya rules if they keep them. What happens if, say, one of the teammates does take out the other? Do they have to retire? Or how are they going to force them to
Like,
retire?
yeah, like Lando, yes, crashed your teammate out. Now please retire box.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
it makes no sense. Like
Like
this is
I know a lot of people joked at Baku that he should have that he was going to have to crash into the wall because Piastri crashed into the wall.
those memes are funny, but
Those
now
were
it's
funny,
kind of like
but what happens if genuinely this race Lando accidentally knocked out Piastri? What would have happened?
honestly the backlash would be really crazy. But already it's like it's really tense in the media and so on. Like I feel like even within the team, it's not all perfect. Like the
No,
Piastri side of the garage is feeling like maybe not treated as well as Lando's. Maybe it's just all a coincidence. Like these things
maybe,
can
but I
happen.
also do think the media
Uh,
is making it seem worse than it is all the time. Right?
that's for sure. Media is always over exaggerating
Yeah,
things
exactly.
every
I was
time.
listening to Five Live, which is like the British radio of the start, before I got to my parents to watch it because I was running late. And like the amount that they overhyped that crash, and then I watch it back and it's like a tap, right? And like Lando's got the damage from it, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's almost put him in the wall!" Like it's so over the top. It's ridiculous. So I think the media might, I'm sure Piastri does feel pretty aggrieved, and rightly so. But I think the media is probably does make these things worse than it is. Again, we have to wait and see. I'm actually interested to see the drivers' press conference next week to see what he said, what Piastri says, because I think he might. Is he going to come out? Because he said he was going to, go and watch it and so on, and obviously they have driver debriefing, and we would have seen how he seemed pretty calm afterwards. I would have been interested to see him be like, if he's decided that it was too much contact and that he was right in his annoyance, or if he backs down a little bit, or what happens.
Yeah, honestly, I really hope they just abolish the entire papaya rules. Maybe like I said many times, I don't like it. I'm pretty sure I made my point clear and my opinion clear, but I feel like if there's something that can boost my hope that it's these incidents like this that the drivers stop thinking about those rules. Like it's 6 rounds to go, and after all, they're fighting for their maybe one and only championship. They should think about themselves more, and they should be allowed to race.
Yeah, yeah.
But we finally saw some racing, and it's already sparked some controversy that I don't think very necessary. If
Uh,
it wasn't for the papaya rules existing in itself,
I'll say I
right?
like papaya rules because like I understand like McLaren was so like we have to win this championship. We are going to win this championship, and we're going to be very strict on it. We're going to be
They
very.
already won the
Yeah, no,
constructors.
I know, but
Race.
they have like up until this weekend they hadn't, right.
But they were not going to caught up anytime soon.
Yeah,
Like
let me
there's
finish.
no team that
Let me
could do
finish.
that.
Let me finish. Last year, for example, right, they had papaya rules, and they won the constructors only by a few points, right? But they still won the constructors over Ferrari, right? Sorry, over Mercedes. Was it Ferrari or Mercedes? I can't
Oh,
remember.
it was Ferrari.
Yeah,
Mercedes
it was
was
Ferrari.
actually, I believe, P4.
Um, This
or
year,
maybe not.
they're just doing the same thing, right? They're following their strict set of rules they've made to work as a team. They've now won the title. They don't need to worry about that. Of course, they want a uh, constructors championship, right? They want a drivers championship as well. So they've got to go to them. They've got to go. You must get a drivers championship. One of you has to win the drivers championship. So if we have to step in, we are going to step in, and we're going to reinstate these rules. But they've already made it so that like it's less so them controlling anything, and it's the two sides of the garage that uh, are dealing with each other. And then they've got to go hands off. They've got to go, okay, we're going to allow you to fight for this championship without any rules. We just your two sides of the team deciding what to do. But if you screw up, there will be consequences because Verstappen isn't far behind now. I know it's still very, very unlikely, but we got a lot of sprint races left, and it is Max Verstappen we're talking about here. So you just got to be clear with them. You got to win the drivers' championship, but we will allow you to do whatever you want from now on. And I think that's the best point of view.
Yeah, really, the max factor being back in this entire drivers fight is a really big thing because like he was like before the summer break he was like over 100 points behind Piastri, right? He caught up to 63 with 6 rounds to go. If
Yeah,
there's one driver who can overcome that gap, it's Max
yeah,
Verstappen.
exactly. So perhaps they
So
do still need to
a
work
one
together.
a one contact or one double DNF potentially
Oh,
for both
100%.
McLarens could
100%.
change the momentum completely to Max, considering the Red Bull is already like pretty good. Like they have won 2 of the last 3 races and
It
finished
turns
out
out
of the both
taking out
McLarens in
Christopher Horner
Singapore.
was a great idea.
Yeah, like they're in the very great form. Like ever since Lauren Mackey's really stepped in, like they won the sprint race in Spa. Obviously, the race wasn't as good, but still finished on the podium. Then obviously Zandvoort. It was a McLaren show, yeah, but still got P2 thanks to Lando's engine going kaput. Then came Monza, clean win, very
Four
very
races in
dominant
a
as
row now
well.
he's been in top two. Sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
top two, yeah.
and then Singapore.
And Baku.
Sorry, Baku, obviously a win as well. Uh, McLaren were nowhere, and then Singapore here, he was able to finish out of both McLarens as well again.
Yes.
Like Max is always there; he's in the top 2 always. Like they have to maximize their weekends now to prevent him from any chance to get in the championship
Yeah,
because
definitely.
we've seen the McLaren being vulnerable now. They have bad races, they have bad pit stops, they have even the mechanical DNFs. They have
Especially
bad
if
strategy
like
position.
especially if like Russell is quicker now as well. He's gonna throw another spanner in the works. As much as
Yeah,
he
I feel
can't
like
like win the championship, he will cost points to all three drivers.
yeah, maybe I don't know if Russell being there is good or bad for Max because like if Russell wasn't there this weekend, Max would have gained more points on the McLarens.
But I don't think he's good for any of them, right?
Like yeah, like Max would need to finish ahead of George, and George would need to finish ahead of the McLarens
Yeah,
for it to
yeah,
matter.
that's true. But
Now,
we until we see
actually,
that, we don't, you know.
actually, George being there and potentially for at least 2 of the next 6 races. So we have Vegas and Qatar maybe could be good for Mercedes. They have been decent
Yeah,
in the other races as well, like Mexico and Coda
yeah,
historically.
exactly.
They can do well. Mercedes always like a random car that suddenly is the fastest every third weekend or so.
It'll be race by race, right? Because for
Yep.
example, he benefited him in Baku because he finished second, and then he's not benefited him in Singapore. So race by race, we'll see how Russell causes a bit of chaos, and then there is, maybe the Ferraris will be quick in some of these races. Probably not though, based on all the evidence. Um, Same with Antonelli, sadly. So it is these three, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the chaos they cause, and a bit of rain can cause chaos. We saw that in Baku, didn't we? So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I think
Has anything happened? last year we saw, especially at the end of the season, like we saw every single of the top four teams being quickest at some point. Like
Yeah,
we're coming
exactly.
up to Coda and Mexico, both the both races last year were won by Ferrari of all teams,
Yes, yeah, of course.
and behind them, like Coda, Max was on the podium. He had the entire thing with Lando going off track and so on. These things can happen again, and if Ferrari is not there because they're honestly they're ass right now.
Yeah.
You gotta say otherwise.
Well,
If Ferrari's not there, Max is winning those races, and if McLaren's not being able to overcome their problems, like Max can really change the momentum to burst himself.
yes, but we're going to talk a lot more about that tomorrow uh,
Yep.
in our drivers' ratings for the last quarter of the season, or
Last six races, so
the last
that's
6 races. Yeah,
uh,
they know
that's
what I mean. Surely,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
not dumb.
Yeah, Hungary, and the last four races. Well, there's four races after the summer break, so yeah,
Yeah.
quite
So,
a few.
but yeah, make sure to watch that. I think that's really going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, thank you very much everyone for watching. I've been AGX. It's been Sorgan. Make sure to like and subscribe. Sorgan, I'll let you say goodbye.
Uh, yep. Thank you, everyone. It's been coming back to us two waffling about for a while. It's been a lot of fun. Honestly, it's much better when we're together than being alone. I'm
Yes,
pretty sure.
definitely, definitely.
For you, even though you haven't been doing this solo that much as I did, but I still feel like we're much better.
Yeah, it's been three race weekends since we were together. So
Uh, yeah, it's generally. I just wanted to say
yeah,
it's a lot more fun when we're together, and it's going to continue for hopefully for the foreseeable future, unless something's happen. But yeah, it's live. Not always we can be both present at the recording, but we try our best. We try to arrange the recordings accordingly, and yeah, we're happy to be here for you, and we're having a lot of fun. So thank you, everyone who's been uh, supporting us, and every interaction helps, and every interactions is very much appreciated. So yeah, thank you.
yes. Thank you very much, and as always, peace.
Peace.